All right, guys, I sold a few, but I still have 2 stacks. Look at that. I even have one that's screwed up. I mean, it's a variant. Yes, we'll talk about this and Tommy's musical sins right now. Let's go. Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Well, I put some games for sale up, guys, and I didn't announce it because I just wanted to see what the fair market value was out there, right? I sold all 5 games, and up to right now we're about $107 around there, right? The lowest game was the Brain Duel. That was about $16, $15.99, and the highest was Moon Patrol at $30.99, believe it or not. So, but that's the total amount for all of them. You know, most of them were local, but one of them was actually going to England. And that was Evel Knievel. Evel Knievel's going to England. You know, who knew? They wanted a variant out there, right? They wanted an American version. You'd be surprised a lot of older folks still have, you know, soft spot for Evel Knievel. Regardless, guys, you know, the lesson here, there's so many lessons regarding the Amico, but specifically what I wanted to tell you is you don't get to determine market value. If I was to ask most of the people that watch my channel how much these games are worth, you can just imagine what they would say. They're not worth shit. I would pay $2 for them, burn them, you know, whatever it is. But we don't get to determine that, right? There's reasons why products we don't think are worth much sell for a lot of money. You know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, as they say, but for value, whether it's these products, any products, even you yourself, right? The market determines the value of your labor, right? It's not me. I can think, you know, I'm worth about, I say, oh, I'm worth about $200,000 a year, right? I think highly of myself. I think I should be paid like a doctor. And I go out to the marketplace and they go, nah, dude, best we can do is $12.50 an hour. So it doesn't matter what I think of myself, right? That's what the market is willing to pay. And it doesn't matter what we in general think about these games. This is what the market is willing to pay for these games. That's the price range. But what are people asking for? I mean, some of these prices are not based on reality. Check it out. Now, those have been up there for a while, and of course they haven't sold, because why are you going to pay that much for something that you could probably order? Now, when they would ship it, who knows, because there's nobody working there, right? But you could order it, right? You could order it. Whether you receive it or not, that's a completely different completely different thing. Could you get your money back? Who knows? You like living dangerously? Buy something from Intellivision. You could be waiting on back orders for me. Like, I'm just like, is it coming this week? Is it coming this week? I bet you they can't even track back orders. That's how ass backwards that place is right now. And talking about ass backwards, Tony showed off a letter today that was given to these people that are making music for Intellivision. You know, if there's one contract that Tommy Tallarico should have gotten right, it would be this one. Guys, there's things that you can do to your reputation that can be very, very damaging and very hard to come back from. If you're in any business, not paying people within your own industry is a bad look. It's a bad look. Tommy not paying musicians, that's just a musical sin. You don't do that in the music industry. You don't cheat people out of money, because that kind of stuff comes back to haunt you, right? Now, these people are saying they didn't get paid, okay? That's not my words, that's their words. We turned in our songs, we did everything right, we never got the money. Now, if the contract said, well, once we release the games, then they're screwed, right? But regardless, you can't pay $500. You had $500. You were showing off the games. I heard some music in some of the games. Could have been some of that, I don't know. But if you do something like this, when you're asking people to submit their own songs and you give a letter of acceptance, you need to pay them. They did the work.
Alright guys, so I told you that I would only comment on things we can document, and here it is. Here's a letter that these musicians received, when they were promised that they were going to be compensated for the music they created. We here at Intellivision would like to congratulate you, as your music has been accepted and selected to be in our game. We had over 100 entries, and it was a very difficult decision. But your track stood out amongst the crowd. Tommy will be reaching out to you directly over the next month or so. He may request some very minor tweaks, changes, or formatting. Once the final track has been delivered, we will issue a simple terms agreement and request an invoice to be paid within 30 days. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me directly and I'll get you the answer. Thank you and congratulations. And then, the logo is down there, and of course the name of the person's been redacted, but that's what they got, and it looks like they didn't get paid.
It doesn't matter what word salad these guys try to use. There is no excuse for this. This is the contract. Of all the screwed up contracts that we've heard of so far, the Sudesh 100, per console, the whole screw up with manufacturing $1.5 million, this right here is the worst. It's the worst because you're doing it to your own industry. You're doing it to other musicians. And it raises so many other questions. Why would the great Tommy Tallarico, music extraordinaire, need to be asking people to write songs for his games? That's kind of weird, if not fishy. And on top of that, you don't pay them? If there's anybody you should have paid so they'd be quiet, it'd be these people right here. But why would you even have to spend the money when you have a musical genius, a performer that gives concerts on staff? When you start adding all these things up that I'm looking at, I'm just a regular Joe Schmo, right? I'm just looking at it and I'm spending 5-10 minutes of my day looking at this thing, and I spend another 10 minutes shooting this video, whatever it is, right? And I have no skin in the game, and these things are obvious for me. Can you imagine somebody that invested $100,000 in this thing? $50,000, and they're looking at this shit? At what point do you smell that you weren't told the entire story when you put your money in? At what point? At some point, somebody's going to be really pissed off, and they're going to pick up that phone and say, hey, we need to talk. Consultations are free, by the way, for a lot of lawyers. But who knows? Who knows? That's just my opinion. I will catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.